I was going to share it though. I'm sorry.
Okay. Welcome to another edition of DUALpreneur Virtual Mastermind. I'm going to be looking up and down because we're doing something new. I always do fun new stuff with Taurea. I'm always trying something new. So we're doing Instagram Live with her as well as the Zoom broadcast. So I'm going to be looking up and down in case I'm not looking. But participation from everything. And I wanted to do this because I wanted to get the information out to as many people as possible because this chick is fire, okay? Let me explain to you why I believe she is fire before I let her take on the spot. And if anyone is in the group, if you can mute your mic, that would be fantastic. But let me explain to you why I love this chick so much. So at the beginning of last year, well, for about 5 years, I was writing this book, the four financial languages. And I talked to her. We were at an event. We were speaking engagement together, right? We did a speaking engagement together. And I was like, Taurea, I got this book. I'm trying to write it, but I got to get an editor. I got all these expenses, and I've been trying to pre-sell it for like a year, and I'm not getting, any pre-sales. And she said, girl, please, that's easy. I can get you $1,000 quick. You can get it in 24 hours. I was like, yeah, right, whatever. So one thing that I have a challenge with is being coachable sometimes. So Taurea was telling me what I needed to do, what you should do. And I was like, I don't know if this will work. Maybe I should do this. Well, she said, if you don't do what I tell you to do. So I broke down and I did what she told me to do. I sent I put out what she told me to put out, got some responses, did what she told me to do. And then all of a sudden, people were cash apping me money. So I ended up getting, I think we did like 50. My book was $20. We did 50. That was what, $1,000 right there. That's when I said, I can't just do 50. I got to do the first 100. So I did the 100. I got $2,000 in less than 72 hours. Less than 72 hours. And that's for pre-sales. I hadn't even wrote the book yet. I knew the book was in me for 5 years. I hadn't even wrote the book yet. Now there's nothing like having people pay you money to put a spark in you to hurry up and write that book. Mm-hmm. So I ended up writing the book within maybe a 45-day period of time because I did it part-time. So I didn't do full-time. So part-time writing the book, during breaks while I'm at work and, on the weekends, I finished the book in less than 45 days, published it, had it edit, all of that within 45 days, and got that book out. But if it wasn't for the help of Taurea, because, I know how to do it. I did financial fornication, but it's just now picking up steam. But had I used some of the tips and the strategies that Taurea taught me with my first book, I would have been a bestseller of that book more than 10 years ago, right? And with this one, it just made it so much easier because not only did I make a profit off of the book before it was even published, I also had the money to be able to pay the expenses that were required to do the book, publishing, cover, all of that, So, one, Taurea, thank you. I sing your praises all the time. So people are like, oh, I need to write a book. I don't know what I need to do. Girl, you need to find that chick, Vision Avant. That her name is Taurea. Tell her I sent you. Tell her Madam Money sent you. So I do have a few people that I've referred to her. They're working with her or they published with her. So she's been a part of my network for many, many years. And it was just last year that we just started working together. I knew she was the bomb, but I didn't know she was like that. Like for real, Taurea, really?
Oh, thank you, boo.
You like that? For real? So I decided, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, DUALpreneurs that have a book in them. They want to write a book, but they just don't know where to begin. How do I get started? So I said, Taurea, I need you to come on and talk about how we can write this book within 30 days and, publish it and make some extra money because right now we really need some extra money. So you got the time now to write the book. You got the time now to do certain things. So we can't say, oh, I'm too busy. I'm traveling. I'm going out. No, boo. We got the time. We can knock this out and get this done so we can get it published and we can start making some money. And you don't even have to wait till it's published to make some money. You can actually start making the money now. So Taurea, thank you so much for joining us on this mastermind, teaching us what we need to know. to write books and to make some money on that. Please introduce yourself and, let's get into what we need to know, because I need to know some more because I got another book I got to write. Go figure.
Of course you do. Well, hey, everybody, and hello to all the beautiful faces here that are joining us in the Zoom. And I know that we're broadcasting on Facebook as well as on Instagram. Hello, hello, hello. For all the ladies that are watching in the Zoom, do me a favor. I just want to know, what city and state are you guys from? Go ahead and type that in so I can make sure to connect with you. I try to do my best to interact when I'm on social media, just because I know that it's hard to sometimes stay focused, right? Hopefully I think my audio on my thing might still be kind of there. So hopefully it's not interacting with y'all too bad. But okay, awesome. Richmond, Virginia, Stafford, Virginia, Fredericksburg, Virginia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hello, Dover, Delaware. Hello, Greensboro, North Carolina. Hello, hello. And those for you watching on Instagram, make sure also put in your city and state, Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. And I'm here in Houston, Texas. This is what they do. When you're in Houston, you throw up the H's, right? So anyways, I'm definitely excited to be here. And Tara said so many great things about me, Miss Madam Money. And I am so grateful to be here on her platform as well, to get a chance to talk to you guys. I got into writing books or teaching people how to write books in 2014. And the reason I actually started, just to kind of keep my story very short, I'm originally from Virginia. So all of my VA folks, what up? I'm originally from Hampton, Virginia. I went to Hampton University, degree in computer science. Like many college graduates, I was one of those people that graduated, couldn't find a job, broke, busted, and disgusted, always tried different business opportunities. I was a professional entrepreneur trying everything under the sun. Okay. My father was diagnosed with cancer, and I ended up moving to Atlanta a month after he had passed away. And that's when I got on my journey to be a full-time entrepreneur. I had tried all these things, but I was like, okay, watching my pops pass was one of the toughest things I ever saw. And it was now time for me to, let me get focused. Well, I created a multimedia company where I invested all this money. It didn't do well, but I did get introduced to a young lady at the time who had made her first, I think she had made her first $20,000 check in network marketing. And I got into the industry of network marketing. Well, I had gotten to that company and was able to earn six figures in that company. Then I ended up going to another company, and I was able to earn six figures and do millions of dollars of sales, travel all over the country, have all this great success. But what I had found is that even with that success, y'all, people still did not look at me, not everyone, but some people did not look at me as a business owner or as a professional entrepreneur, because a lot of times in, the industry of network marketing, it has that negative stigma that, it's a pyramid or whatever, or a lot of people don't really treat their home-based businesses like real businesses, just to be quite honest. That's why there's such a large number who don't have the success they desire. So I decided to write a book. Now, I had invested $10,000, y'all. The gentleman's name is Myron Golden. He was my very first coach that I ever paid that kind of money for. I paid $10,000 for a weekend trip. I flew to Pennsylvania. He taught us how to create a public domain book and how to sell from the stage, did all of that. Still didn't write the book yet. I did a public domain book, but not my own book. Then I invested into another course where I finally was like, all right, let's write this book. So I wrote the book, guys, and immediately, I want everybody to type this in so I can make sure you guys are listening. Immediately, when I tell you immediately, doors opened up. I was in a coffee business, network marketing coffee business called Organo Gold. And when I say, guys, I got invited to speak on platforms like real estate organizations, bridal organizations, networking groups. All these different people wanted me to come speak because I wrote a book where I was set up like the expert. And so for those of you who are trying to figure out how can I get a platform, how can I get in front of people, being an author is one of the fastest and best ways. And the funniest thing, now it used to be called A Vision to Freedom, but I actually changed it because when I originally wrote it, I wrote it to be able to recruit more people. But then when I walked away from the industry in 2014, I decided to be a full-time coach. I wanted to make sure that I readjusted my content and so that I get more people that want to write books, right? Okay. So anyway, so the craziest thing though, is that nobody has ever asked me, have I ever really made six figures? Now, I'm not telling you that to go out here and lie. I'm a big woman of integrity. So if you've never made six figures, of course you don't want to claim that you did it in a book, but nobody's ever confirmed that. From all the students that I've had and writing their books, nobody's ever asked, how did you overcome this? Or did you really do that? Or did you, except being an author, it gives you that credibility instantly where people see you as the expert. Okay. So let's get into this. All right. I want to get into writing a book. The first thing that I want everybody to understand, and I said this on another broadcast earlier today, is the reason why a lot of authors, because I want you to understand, it's a large percentage of authors who make no money. 80% of most authors actually make below minimum wage. So I meet authors all day long. Oh, I've already written 2 books, 3 books, 4 books. And I always want to kind of get a little saucy with them, but I don't, because I want to always ask, well, how much money are they making? Because if you got 3 books, you should definitely be in a 6-figure range. If you're not making 6 figures and you have 2, 3 books, something ain't right. And the biggest mistake, and I want everybody to write this down, and shout out again to everybody who is typing their notes, Sonia, Tara, it's 2 Taras in here. Okay. Charlene, Sonia, Gloria, thank you guys. 2 Sonias too? Well, you got some double names up in here, girl. Okay, so look. So the first thing, guys, the first mistake that people make when they're writing a book is they write a book to tell versus a book to sell. Now, the great thing I'm going to tell you about Tara is that when she wrote her very first book, that book was perfect, very catchy. And a lot of people really would book her to come on their shows because her book was so catchy. But she's in an industry talking about money and finances that is a difficult industry. In fact, I always use her book as an example for someone in the finance industry, because when she talks about financial fornication and stuff like that, then, she got all these names that are connected to crazy stuff. It's very catchy and attractive. And so what she was able to do was take an industry that can be kind of hard to get clients and attract them with verbiage that is very racy, that's controversial, okay? And so she didn't create that book so that she could tell her life story. She created that book so she could sell her business, sell her services, sell her expertise. And what many people do is they create these books because they want to tell their story. And I'm going to be honest, guys, and this is no disrespect, and please don't take this the wrong way, but 9 times out of 10, if your ultimate goal is to tell your story, I never like to tell people don't do it, but it's not going to necessarily be the draw that people are looking for. The reason why somebody's going to buy your book is because it's making a promise to solve a problem, okay? Now, with that stated, when you write a book, let's say you want to write a book, I don't know, maybe you guys that are watching, you're married, right? Well, I don't know if you know the statistics on how many African-American women are single, how many Caucasian women are single, how many all nationality women are single. It's a whole lot, especially ones that are business-minded, right? So that number is becoming bigger, and especially in the African-American community. Well, if you happen to be a married woman and you've had a happy, successful marriage, then you've been able to do something that a large population of women have not. That could be an opportunity for you to create a business, and you write a book that's centered along that specific niche of African-American Black women. Well, that's the same thing. African-American women who are in business, had a level of success, but looking to be able to have successful relationships. That's a whole business, right? And so in that, though, you can share your story. You can still tell your journey, but you strategically do it in a way where somebody's like, wow, this is going to help me. She's giving me, or he's giving me steps on how to be able to be successful. Does that make sense? So does that make sense to everybody? You don't want to write your book to tell, you need to write your book to sell. Okay. So that's the first tip. Okay. So everybody, when you're thinking about what you're going to write about, the first thing I want you to think about is, what is it that you're trying to sell? Now, some people, they come to me, they say, Taurea, well, I'm not an entrepreneur. That's another big thing. If you're going to write a book, you are now an entrepreneur. You now have a product to push. Okay. Anytime you got a product to push, AKA even a book, that makes you an entrepreneur. And if you treat your business, your book, like a business, guess what? It's going to pay you like a business. And so the next thing that you got to figure out is, outside of the book, what is it that you actually sell? When you think about it, if you go to a hairstylist, right? So, you know, look, we've been in the house, y'all, lately. I've been trying to do little different things to my hair, child. I was tired of the fro, so I rodded it up, right? Now, why is it that women get their hair done? Not just because we just want our hair done. There's a specific reason. It gives us, maybe some of us, it gives us confidence, right? We feel like we are beautiful, right? So, you know, a hairstylist, what a hairstylist does is they don't just do hair. A good hairstylist gives you confidence. And so when you think about it, if I was to write a book, I could write a book on how to build your self-confidence. Now, I'm a hairstylist, but what I sell is confidence. Also, hairstylists tend to be, you know, hold on, let me think. I just want to take some coffee, that's all. So hairstylists tend to be, what do you call it? Psychiatrists and stuff. You know, you go tell your hairstylist all your business, right? And so, of course, throughout the years, if you were with a hairstylist that's been doing hair for, you know, 20 years, they got a lot of stuff to tell you, right? And so when you think about a stylist, they're not just providing hair. So if I was a stylist, I wouldn't just write another book about how to do hair. I might write a book about how to build your confidence, because maybe I feel like I also want to get into the life coaching business. Then you could do it with a twist. You can coach your clients when they come to get their hair done. Oh, now that was strong. I just got tingles. Because who's ever thought about that? Like,
see,
girl,
there you are. Because if you're a hairstylist, and I've been giving these virtual biz tips, right? If you're a hairstylist, you know all of your clients have been coming to you, telling you their problems. You've been giving advice. This is now the time to reach out to your clients that can't come to you for hair and check up on them and say, how you doing? I know you had that problem. Is there anything I can do? You give them a taste test. Because what I learned from the Chinese restaurants in the malls, they always give a sample, and they're always strategically placed. They're always on the corner of the food court, and they're always giving the sample. Because if you like the sample, you're going to keep coming back. Because then you can say, was that good for you? I'm so glad. If you need anything else, also, you know, I have a coaching business. So if you ever need some coaching in that, you know, let me know and we can talk about it. Because I may not be able to do your hair, but I can make your insides look good. Girl, come on.
Yeah,
see, we don't need to be together all the time.
I know, right? Oh, Jesus.
Boom,
honey.
baby, boom.
That's just how you can kill it. And so you got to identify, like, again, you know, what is it that you're selling? So it's not a book. You're not just selling my story. You're selling the results. There's something specific that people are looking for, people want. You know, when I had wrote a book about depression, I really wrote that for me. I wrote it because I went through severe depression, even to the point of where I considered committing suicide. And unfortunately, that's the one thing I was super afraid of, with the exception of roaches and rats and mice. I'm super afraid of roaches, rats, and mice. Okay. But the thought of the things that I had to do, I wasn't afraid of necessarily no longer being here, but I was afraid of doing the actual thing that you needed to do. So God kept me in that way. Well, I decided to write a book about depression. I didn't want to write a book necessarily about my life. I wanted to use what I had overcome and help other people. In fact, today I even give that book away for free still, because there's so many people right now I know that are in a state of mental health challenges. And so you got to figure out, again, what is it that you're going to sell? Now, I'm going to hook y'all up real quick, okay? I hope everybody's taking some notes, because I'm about to hook you up with a couple of tips. The next thing that you need to make sure you're doing when you're writing this book is understand you write a book to write another book, okay? One of the best, or some of the best examples of authors that, if you think about, they're also millionaires, the top pastors in the world that, you know, everybody's like, they got these mega churches. Well, first of all, to run a mega church costs a whole lot of money. So that's why I never trip off of mega churches when, like, the light bill alone in a mega church, right? But 9 times out of 10, they tend to have other streams of income. And one of those streams are books. You think about Bishop T.D. Jakes. You think about Joyce Myers. You think about Joel Osteen. They've got new books coming out every quarter, because you write a book to write another book. You keep on going. The crazy thing, I got a book right here. Hold on. Anybody know this person right here? Anybody ever heard of this guy right here? John C. Maxwell. See, John C. Maxwell, he writes books on leadership. He's been writing books on leadership since I've known him. Guys, but the crazy thing is he ever going to get tired of talking about leadership? No, because leadership pays him millions. That is his niche. That is his topic. And so a lot of us say, well, I already wrote a book about that. Okay, well, things change. And Tara can tell you the finance world has changed these past couple of weeks. Stuff is different. People are now having to do different things. And so you write a book to write another book. Now, I generally recommend your books should be about 7 to 10 chapters, okay? Now, unless you're doing what is new, and people are doing new styles of books where they are calling these pocket-sized books, miniature style books. They're not very long. You still charge $20, but 7 to 10 chapters. And then here's another tip. Each one of your chapters should be broken into 4 to 6 sub-chapters. This is the format of the book that I like to write. And the reason I write my books in these formats is because when somebody flips it open, generally people are going to look at the cover, then they're going to flip it to the back, and then they're going to open up the book to see what it looks like. They're not reading it when they do this. They're literally looking to see, does this look easy to read? Because most people don't want to read in the first way. By the way, another tip, and I know this is going to sound crazy, 70% of most people who get your book, they're not going to read it. Well, then, Taurea, why are we writing this book? Because a book is a leverage tool. There's going to be some who do, and they'll even read the intro into the first chapter, but that's not why I have this book, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I have this book is because I leverage it. I use this book to get on the news. I was watching something on one of the news stations here in Houston, this guy, Isaiah Carey, and he had a lady that was on his show. She was the author of Restaurateur. What in the world is that? It don't matter because he was talking about restaurants. So he felt like he should bring an expert, the author of Restaurateur, okay? Don't nobody know that lady. We just know the fact that she has a book. So you use this as a tool, okay? 3 marketing tips, and then I'm gonna go ahead and allow us to open up some Q&A because I know you guys have questions. I can sit here all day long and really, I love writing, talking about books and how to leverage, but I more so love teaching you guys how to get the bag, okay? So getting money is what I like. And the reason why you write these books is because they're gonna make you money. So marketing. So the first thing, never leave home without your books, okay? I'm gonna tell you guys, I have closed major $1,000 deals because I just simply was making sure that, hey, Dr. Casual Pits, I was making sure that everywhere I went, I got my books. I like to go and identify where my target audience is going to be, and I'm gonna have at least 2 copies of my books on me. When somebody then looks at your book, and I like to sit at the bar, okay? Because at the bar, that's where they converse. And I know some people say, well, I don't really drink water, put your 2 books down there. Them people gonna be like, is that your book? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They're gonna say, is that your book? And I'm gonna say, absolutely. It's $20. Would you like it? I swear to God, that's what I do every
So
single
Taurea,
time.
let me tell you what I do. I always, when I'm at the airports, I'm at the bar or whatever reason, I am always going to have a reason to set my books out.
Absolutely.
Especially the one with my picture on it, because they're going to say, wait a minute, is that you? Yes. What's that about? And once I tell them, they're hooked. And,
well, and then you honestly don't even have to tell them, Tara, because you just give them your book and let them read the title. The title already makes the promise. That's what's so good about the title of your book, because when they look at the front and they read it, it's going to tell the reader exactly, or the potential reader, what to learn. And it also kind of tells them what industry you're in, right?
Right.
So when they say, well, what's it about? I say, here.
Yep.
Here, look, because they're going to do like this, then they're going to flip it over the back, and then they're going to do like this, and they're going to say, well, how much is it? $20.
$20.
And
I make more money off of strangers at the bar, at the airport, or whatever than I do for my own family.
Oh, absolutely. Well, your family's not your client, right?
No, they're not my client.
And so that's the thing. You know, your client is out there in the world. So another marketing technique that I want to give to you guys when you get your books done, because hopefully you get your books done, right? So another thing that you can do is you can get individuals like Tara. So Tara has a specific audience of people, right? She has a target audience. Well, what if your audience is also her audience, but you guys do totally different things? Well, what I would do is find out a way about how I could leverage her audience to be my audience. So let's say I'm working on a book, right? I'm going to call her up and say, hey, I would love to get a quote from you so I can put you in my book. And so this is a free, because she's an influencer. So I'm not just giving this to anybody. I ain't gonna give it to cousin Ray Ray, because Ray Ray got a couple people that hang around him that I could serve. I'm giving it to someone who has influence. And then when the book comes out, I'm gonna make sure that Tara actually knows and promotes and lets everybody know that she's actually cited in the book. And then when she gets the book, I'm going to ask her to promote it. And I'm going to tell her every book you sell, I'll give you a commission, right? So this is another way to leverage other people, because some of us, maybe we don't have a big network, right? Maybe you don't have a whole lot of people, but you know some people who do. Well, you got to reach out to them and see if they'll do it and offer them an opportunity to be in your book, and they will do it. Believe it or not, I actually have a young lady right now who's got her book. We just had this boot camp coming up. She said, what you said is an echo. Well, you got to listen hard, girl, listen hard. So we had this boot camp that we just did this past weekend. And one of the young ladies has a book coming out. And she said she reached out to a woman who's a life coach and offered her also an opportunity to pay to be inserted into the book, right? And so there's so many opportunities for the marketing. The third tip for marketing, y'all, is find out about your local media outlets right now. So I'm going to be doing something with everybody that's in my Facebook group on Book Profits Club. And I'm going to do a test. See, right now, I know that there's so much negativity in the world. Guys, the news is looking for some stuff that they can talk about. Like, they need to get a little bit of a balance, right? And if you have a topic that can be connected to COVID-19, then I'm going to reach out. I'm going to get a press release made that's going to connect to COVID-19. Mine is going to be businesses you can start from the comfort of your home while we are quarantined. You might type a book about, maybe you're a teacher, how to be able to teach your kids right now during the quarantine. Maybe you want to do relationships, how to have the best sex life during COVID-19. And you create, right? Now, if you by yourself, like me, we just got to visualize it. You know what I'm saying? Just close your eyes. But, you know, there's so many different things that you can do. How to cook better. If you're a chef, how to cook great meals while you're on quarantine. So you could create books. Now the books are not going to be quarantine books. These are going to be books tailored to your business, but it's a great way to get in front of it. And what you do is you let them know the book is coming out. Now, if you already got printed books, send them a copy of your book. Send them a copy to the news station. Let them know who you are. Send a copy to the radio station. Send a copy. If there's a person with a big blog or vlog, find out their address and ship them a copy of your book, okay? So those are 3 marketing techniques that I wanted to give to you. I also want to offer you guys an opportunity, but I'll wait in a minute to do that because I know that Tara probably has some questions about getting these things done. So I know that Instagram says it's an echo. Look, we trying to do what we can do. I don't think we can fix that, but you know, y'all just try to listen if you can. I can't hear you anymore.
Okay, I don't know. Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. So, one, to go back to what she was saying about getting an influencer, I'll give you case in point. For the first book, what I decided to do, I asked my good friend, Clyde Anderson. I asked Clyde Anderson because he wrote a couple books, but he was a commentator on CNN. So I was very strategic in who I had to be my foreword. So, and I was strategic in who I did my foreword to. I asked my mentor, who's Alfred Edmonds Sr. or Jr. He is the SVP of Black Enterprise. So I was very, very strategic on that. And he has quoted me on several radio stations, in Black Enterprise, the magazine. I even got an opportunity because of the book to write for blackenterprise.com. So I'm a contributing writer for blackenterprise.com. So you have to be very strategic, especially with the foreword. Sometimes they may charge you, sometimes they won't, but be strategic. Like she said, don't ask, you know, Nana and them to do your foreword. You have to be strategic in who's going to do your foreword. You know, you want to get an influencer, not just an influencer, but someone who has lots of followers, but those followers do what they tell them to do. So if they tell them to buy your book, they're going to buy your book, right? So, and then I also made some more money because there were some people that have never written a book before, but they wanted to be a part of a book. So they paid to provide a quote. And if they provided a quote and I had their picture in it, it cost them more. But they had an opportunity to be in a book and they promoted it, because look at the book. Look at the book. Are you saying forward or forward? Forward. F-O-R-E-W-O-R-D, right? Or is it F-O-R-W? F-O-R-D, the forward, that is the intro. how do I explain the foreword? The foreword is someone that is edifying and justifying, or, you know, saying this is based on my experience and my facts. This book will help you do whatever. So you do that, and you can have a foreword, or you can also have an outward. So I was going to do an outward because I was going to get another influencer to close out the book. I didn't do that, but those are opportunities, because if you get influencers to be a part of your book, they're going to promote your book. So I have to edify you on that, because that is absolutely correct. And you can make some more money with, you know, letting people who've never written a book that wants to be a part of a book to be a part of the book. And you don't make it overly expensive. You just say, hey, $50, you can get quoted. You can share your expertise. I have a few financial people that are in the same field as me quoted in financial, the 4 financial languages. And that's so they have an opportunity to be seen as an expert. And they can always say, yes, I've been cited in the book for financial languages. So there's great opportunity to not only, you know, make money there, you know, selling the book, but also adding influencers so they can promote it as well. Absolutely. So we're going to open it up for some questions, because I know Taurea's got to get ready for her next virtual event. But what questions do you have? Type them in the comments, or ladies, if you're in the Zoom, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question. What questions do you have about writing a book or making money from books?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, Sonia.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, boo. Hey.
Hey. So my question is, I contributed 2 years ago to an anthology, and there were 7 authors in that anthology. When the book first came out, I sold probably 30 copies of the book, and have slowed down with it because I guess I wasn't exactly sure how I should continue to push something where it wasn't just me, it's 7 of us. So my question is, with the tips and the techniques that you shared with us, would that transcend over to that type of book as well, or would you suggest just doing that for something that you have written yourself?
So for an anthology, and I actually call them collaboration projects, we actually do a lot. We've done probably more than 30 plus collaboration projects. Mm-hmm. You cannot, of course, do every single thing like we're explaining as far as like including someone in the book, because you are a contributing author. So you're contributing a chapter. However, in regards to marketing, if I'm in a collaboration project, I'm going to market that book as if it were my own as well. Okay. You don't have to not promote it because there's other people. So I have a kind of mentality that's an abundant mentality. I believe that nobody can take away anybody that's been ordained and assigned to me. So if that means that maybe even me sending my book to one person might be for a connection, it's going to be for a connection. And so you got to know that, right? So when you send, let's say you send that book to like a media outlet and you want to get on the news, just make sure that they, you know, you might want to put an insert so they know exactly what page, have an introduction, have a speaker sheet so that they're going to go directly to your chapter. And they will go directly to your chapter because you're the one who actually sent it. So you don't have to worry about, you know, not promoting it if it's going to help you. Now, this is one thing I will tell you. And the reason why I call them collaboration projects versus anthologies, because again, I don't do like biography type stories. And I know a lot of anthologies are. Does the anthology connect to whatever your product or service is? See, where people mess up is they think that the book is what's going to make them rich. It's the leveraging of the book. Is it possible to make 6 figures selling a book? It's possible, but is it probable? No. I've never made 6 figures selling a book. I've made 6 figures leveraging the book because of my book on this, I'm able to sell this product or service. So what you really want to focus on is how to leverage that anthology to be able to connect more to what you actually sell, your higher ticket product. Does that make sense, Sonia?
Yes.
So if that's like, you know, coaching, if that's a retreat that you want to offer, that's where the real money is. So it's not money in the book, it's money in that, what that connection is going to be for.
Gotcha.
That's an excellent point because, like you said, financial fornication and the 4 financial languages, even some collaboration books that I've been a part of, doesn't make me lots and lots of money. I get good you know, commission or royalty checks from them, but it doesn't make me all the money. What makes me the money are the speaking engagements. Like I told you all before, within 3 months, I had 3 speaking engagements that would total $10,000, right? Of course, they've been canceled because of the quarantine, and that really hurts. And I'm very bitter about that. No, not bitter. Yeah, bitter. But it was because of the books. That's what leveraged me to get the opportunities for the speaking engagements and to negotiate my speaking fees. And so, you know, and it was because not just, you know, you're not going to have a book and then all of a sudden people are going to throw a couple $1,000s at you, but it does make you an expert. It automatically gives you.
They will throw thousands of dollars.
Huh?
Yes, they will throw thousands of dollars.
Okay. Yeah, they kinda will.
I've had it happen a couple times.
Okay, they kind of did. So I went from getting a couple $100s to a couple $1,000. I did, because the book showed me as the expert of whatever I was talking about. And again, she said, if you write it correctly, if you're not writing it, it wasn't about me. Even though I say sometimes it's about me, it's really not about me. I was writing a solution-based type of book. And so people wanted to know that solution because they had that pain. So I was solving a problem for their pain. And that's what the book is. Now for Sonia, you've been a part of the anthology and you've been through that process of writing the book and everything. Now it's time for you to do your own. Okay? It's time for you to graduate now. You got your feet wet. You jumped in with everybody. Now it's time to jump in by yourself so that you can really leverage your expertise and leverage that book for your products and services. Yeah. And that's going to lead me to Taurea. Taurea, I know you have several programs, or you have some programs to help new authors or pre-authors to become authorpreneurs. Tell us a little bit about your programs.
Absolutely. And sorry, y'all, I'm multitasking because I'm literally getting ready for another show. So don't think I'm ignoring, I'm listening. But yes, so I actually work with authors and future authors. My specific audience is business owners. Okay, so who I work with is business owners. So the goal is to teach you how to create a book that can be leveraged as a tool and then turning that tool into multiple streams of income. Many of my students also go on to do public speaking. I believe in selling to the back of the room, and that is selling your products or your services, especially in the information space as a coach. So what I want to give you guys is access to a free masterclass that I have to get you guys rocking and rolling. Again, I don't just serve future authors, but current authors. 80% of most authors make below minimum wage and never sell more than 250 copies. And that's on a high scale. So we want to change that, okay? So to get access to this, all you have to do, guys, is go to www.abookin30days, so 30days.com. www.abookin30days.com. You'll also be able to get access when you register for that. You'll get a redirect so that you can register for that training where Tara was telling you that she did over $100 in sales in 72 hours. And she really did that, y'all. Like it
wasn't over $100 in sales. It was
100 book sales. 100 book sales. Yeah. And I think, do you still have the flyer? Because I remember I kept on trying to find your flyer to show that you did over 100 book sales in 72 hours. Just following it. Like she really was just following this simple script. It's not complicated. And no, you don't need to have a gazillion followers in order to have this kind of success.
Let me tell you, I literally copied and pasted everything she told me to say. Okay. So she literally typed it in because I wanted to type in other stuff. So she just took the phone and said, give me the phone. She typed it in and sent it to the first person. And then I was like, oh my God, it's not going to work. And then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, what's the link to pay? And I was like, what? Wait, what? And so I was in Columbia, South Carolina at my best friend's house. I spent the entire weekend copying and pasting into messengers. That's how you slide in people's DM. I made $2,000 in people's DM. Y'all can't tell me you can't make money in the DM. I made $2,000
in the DMs.
And it wasn't that I was spamming them. It was based on a response that they gave me from a post that she told me to post. Yep. Well, she posted for me. because I wanted to do
And she wasn't listening, so I had to do it. So
I wanted to do
yeah.
something different. Right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, guys. So please definitely, you could do it if you want to. It's the masterclass is free. Bookin30days.com is where you can go. Tara, it's so nice to see you, Queen. I know you've been out here on your hustle bustle, man. Tara's been all over the place on some major platforms. So I'm super excited anytime you give me the opportunity to share a little bit of love with you, darling.
I thank you so much for coming on. How can people follow you, Taurea?
I would say go to A Book in 30 Days. I don't want to give y'all too many tasks. The only thing I want you to do is go to A Book in 30 Days. Yes. I don't like to give people too many things to do because I don't want y'all to be confused. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's
Come on over there to A Book in 30 Days and you will get once you register, you'll get connected directly to me. And if you don't want to, then that means that I'm probably not the person, right? So I'm looking for people who want to have successful books, right? So that's where you want to definitely make sure you connect for sure.
Awesome. Taurea, I know you have to go. Ladies, if you're still in the group, we still want to learn more about your business. So Taurea, thank you so much. You get ready for your next show and we will see you soon. Okay.
Bye guys. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Now, ladies that are still in the group, thank you so much for hanging in there. Now we want to know if you have any other questions, you can ask me some questions, or if you're showing your beautiful face, I need to see your beautiful face in order to do this. You all can definitely share your business, who you are, what is your business, what problem do you solve? So let's start with Sonia.
Right. Sorry, I had to come off mute. I got a mess going on.
Uh-huh.
So, my primary business, I have two. One is I run a nonprofit for domestic violence survivors. And then my side business is a leadership developing and coaching business. The book that I was speaking of is called, I wrote a chapter in it, which is the 3 steps to healing, which assists people over trauma, domestic violence, divorce, anything, just assisting them through their healing process.
Awesome.
And yeah, so that's what I have.
Good job. And you're going to be starting your own book.
Yes. So from that chapter, and that's been on me for a while, is taking that chapter that I wrote and expanding on that chapter.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much. How can people find you or connect with you?
On Facebook, I'm Sonia J. Holt, and on LinkedIn, same thing as well. And I'm on Twitter as well, but I'm not really on Twitter. So Facebook is probably the best way to connect with me.
Okay, great. Miss Yvonne, you can unmute yourself and tell the world how wonderful you are. What is your superpower?
Hi, Tara. I am a registered nurse, and I've been working as a case manager and patient advocate for over 25 years.
Wow.
I've become independent and formed an LLC called MAC Consulting and Solutions. And through that LLC, I've worked as a case manager. Most recently, I case managed my mother's entire care, coordinating her services. And that's what I'd like to put that content and my experiences in a book, because I feel I was able to do a lot and just gained a lot of knowledge about caregiving and care coordination, and especially with the family member across state lines. It was quite an experience. So I don't have any cases as a case manager right now due to what has recently occurred. And now's a good time to write that book.
Yes, and definitely connect with Taurea so she can help you through that process. I think that would be very valuable. At least going through, again, that's abookin30days.com. So make sure you do that. Thank you so much. How can we follow you on social media?
Well, Facebook through Yvonne Macklin, YVONNEMCLIN, and also LinkedIn. I'm going to expand my media coverage, but that hasn't occurred just yet. But I'm looking to get involved with other mediums as well, Twitter and Instagram, and just become part of the new wave.
I can help you with that. So
Okay.
we'll stay connected.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. We have Sonia Key. We got 2 Sonias in the house. Yeah.
What's up? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Tara. So my name
I can't hear you. Can you speak up just a little bit? Oh, there you
Hear me
go.
now?
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Sonia Keeve, and I am the CEO and founder of Podcasters Rock, a Facebook community to help both aspiring and seasoned entrepreneurs who really want to kill it in the game of podcasting. And so I offer a 6-week course entitled How to Launch Your Podcast in 30 Days. And I came on here today because the next step kind of in my next is to write a book to encourage women of color to podcast. And so I definitely want to get more information from Taurea, how to kind of put that all together. But the thing, I was writing notes, and the only question I did have, did she say that your book should typically be 7 to 10 chapters? And then I missed what the sub-chapters piece. That's what I was missing.
Yes, it should be at least 7 to 10 chapters, and you should have at least up to, at least 4 sub-chapters, right? So in my book, and as she says, when people go through the book, they look at the book, right? They just go through here, and you want it to look easy to read. And I don't know if you all can see this, probably not, but you'll notice that there's sub-chapters in my book, right? That is to break up the topics, because for people like me, I'm not a reader per se, I'm not an avid reader. I read to gather information. So if I see a whole book or a whole bunch of chapters, it's just a book of words, all I see is black dots and I just go away. So I need things broken up for me in bite-sized chunks. And that's how most people read. We get intimidated when there's too much information, but if it's a chapter the chapter may be 20 pages long, right? But if it's broken up into sub-chapters, that's easier to digest. So it just makes it easier to read. Now, Sonia, for you already have a book done, girl. You got a 6-week program. You can convert the content that's in your 6-week program and turn that into a book.
Okay.
You can even turn it into a workbook. You know what I'm saying? You turn the book and then you turn that book into a workbook, and now you have the training that is of that book. And you can sell the book, because people go through the training, they may forget. So you're going to sell them the workbook. But if they forget the content, you sell them the book. So it gives you collateral to sell as well. Okay.
Gotcha.
A lot of us, we already have the content. We already have the content. If we're doing coaching programs, training, or whatever, you have the content. Even if you're doing blogs. My four financial languages came about from several blogs that I was writing about savers, spenders, investors, and givers. Okay, so you can recycle content. So how can we connect with you, especially if we're interested in podcasting? I love podcasting. So for those that are interested in starting a podcast, how can people get in contact with you?
You can reach me on my website at www.soniakeeve.com. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Sonia Keeve. You can connect with me there. If you want more information about podcasting and enrolling in the course, which will begin April the 5th, you just go to bit.ly/podcast, the letter N, 30 days. So podcast in 30 days. Awesome. And you can enroll today.
Enroll today, bit.ly/podcast, the letter N.
Yep, podcast, the letter N, 30 days.
30, is that
30 days.
30 days.
Yes.
All right? And no excuse. You want a podcast? Sonia's giving you no excuse. Get it done. Thank you so much. Is it Anya?
Hi, Ayana.
Hey, how do you pronounce your name, baby?
Ayana.
Ayana. Nice to see you.
It's good to see you. We met on a G Women call.
Yes. How
Yeah.
you doing, boo?
I'm good.
That's good.
So the name of my business is The Capacity Coach. And I'm still in the launching phase, so I'm still kind of a newbie learning the ropes of like the coaching courses and things like that. So I'll be launching 2 tribes. One is the Maya tribe, which is my middle name, which also means growth. And the purpose of that is to help women find their voice and own it.
Nice.
That's kind of my healing journey. And so I'm walking women through that process, and we identify who they were and who they're going to become. And then I help them develop their personal standard operating procedures. So just like a business would, I'm letting them create one for themselves in terms of how they'll operate.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And how can we follow you or connect with you on social media?
Right now on Facebook, it's the Capacity Coach. And on LinkedIn, it's my name, Ayana Maya.
Awesome. And do you have a website?
No, I'm building that now.
Okay. If you need help, I got you.
Okay,
Yvonne,
thanks.
do you have a website? I know she's.
Yes, I do have a website, and I started the initial build, but while my mom was so ill, she recently passed away. I just, kind of let it slide.
That's
So I
okay.
have
I'm
the
here.
need for assistance.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm here. I can help you with that. Sonia
Great.
Holt,
Thank
you got a website, girl?
I was building HoltDevelopment.com.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I got you all. So, all right, Miss Gloria, I see you in the building, boo. She was like, let me get myself together.
Hi, how is everyone? I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I came and listened. I'm a teacher by day, that's my trade, but outside of teaching, I do finances, I do taxes and credit restoration, and I'm also a mobile notary. And now it just feels like God is just leading me into another direction of working and building women. And it's just like some of the things that I've experienced in life, it's now time to just pass the torch and help other people, if that makes sense. And then I just love what we talked about here, how when she said, don't write a book to tell, write a book to sell. And it's like, that was a lot of great advice, because people keep telling me that I need to write a book, but I'm like, what am I going to write a book about, and what am I going to do? But I think it's all going to come together.
That's awesome. How can we follow you and connect with you?
On Facebook, I'm Gloria Jordan Kirksey. And on Instagram, I'm Gloria the Credit Coach, and the credit is with a K.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we will definitely follow you and keep up with you. Do you have a website?
No, I'm in the process of my brother's helping me do that now.
All right. So my name is Tara Jackson. Hey, oh, wait a minute. We got somebody else that's coming. Oh, she's like, Tara's like, nah, boo. Nah, you're not going to get away without me saying something. Oh, there you go. Wait a minute. We can't hear you. Okay. Go on, unmute yourself.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry. How are you, ladies?
Great.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I'm moving stuff over here. Well, my name is Tara, and I own 2 businesses. I run an in-home daycare in Stafford, Virginia, and I also run a coaching business for like transformational coaching, like self-love, motivating, focusing more toward women, and just basically trying to help them have more direction. If there's any healing involved, just kind of trying to stay focused, get past some hurt, forgiveness, all of that, those things that kind of keep us, especially women, keep us stuck.
Yeah.
And not pursuing what it is that we want to pursue, or just living our life to our fullest, basically.
Awesome. And how can we connect with you?
My coaching business, I also do public speaking, and that business is called A Positive Perspective. And you can find me on my website, which is apositiveperspective.com.
Awesome.
I'm also on Facebook, and I don't really work with my Instagram too much. That's something that I need to work on, and I need to work on doing more posting and things like that. We kind of get distracted. So my main thing is to regain my own focus on the business itself, and which is why I'm hoping to get a book out there, definitely for the reasons that she listed, as far as marketing myself and opening up other doors and things like that.
And the credibility, absolutely, instant credibility.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all, ladies, for joining us. My name is Tara Jackson, aka Madam Money. By day, I work with different credit unions. I do the technology with the credit unions, but I also do public speaking. People like to pay me money to talk about money because of my experience. I'm a former interim president, CEO of a credit union in Atlanta, Georgia. So I have a wealth of that. But what most people don't realize is that I love building websites. I have a build a business named after my mother, my grandfather, and my grandmother, the three most people that I love the most, next to my son, Stephanie, Roger, and Jean, called Sir J Services, Business Solutions. And I build websites. I've been building websites for 25 years. I've just been doing it on the DL. But now, since all the stress came about a year ago, I decided to do it because it is something that I relax. One thing I am very, very diligent on is making, especially women entrepreneurs, small businesses, look like Fortune 500 companies online. Because if your website is cheesy, people will not buy from you and they will not take you serious. So I am very, very diligent about helping women entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, to have that professional, responsive look online, just as professional and as beautiful as they are. And it puts their products and services and gives them justice. And it makes them people easy to pay them. You know, that always helps as well. And so I am doing a special deal right now, especially with the pandemic and the quarantine, of 50% off. If you'd like to learn more about that, just go to srjwebsites with an s.com. That's srjwebsites with an s.com. You can schedule a consultation with me. I'd love to talk about your needs to see how my company can help you put your best foot forward as far as your virtual store front. If you need help with setting up your social media accounts, we can help you with that. So we can definitely talk about that. But my goal here as a DUALpreneur for other DUALpreneurs and entrepreneurs is to make sure we have the resources to look our best so we can make the most. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Can't wait for the rest of the week. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Tomorrow, if you have kids, Lord, if y'all have some kids and they are in the house and you are homeschooling, one, I'm going to pray for you because my son is 24 and he is out of the house, but I'm going to pray for you now. But if you are a DUALpreneur, you got a full-time job, you may be furloughed, or you may be working from home and you're trying to run your business while you have extra time, but them little chickadees want your attention and you trying to deal with that and it is causing you major stress. Well, Teresa Wright Johnson's coming tomorrow to tell us some parentpreneur coping skills and tips so that we do not wring somebody's neck or become an alcoholic because all we need is wine. And so she's going to give us some coping skills during these uncertain times, especially for DUALpreneurs and entrepreneurs. So make sure you tune in, same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you everyone for joining us. I really, really do appreciate